Imagine a civilization so ancient. It existed 7,000 years before the pyramids, long before writing, cities, or even pottery. A place built with engineering so advanced that historians still cannot explain who built it, how they built it, or why it was buried on purpose. This is the story of Göbekli Tepe, the world's oldest known monumental site, a site that challenges everything we thought we knew about human history. Our journey begins in southeastern Turkey, just outside the ancient city of Kanlı. In 1994, a German archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt was surveying a rocky hill locals called Potbelly Hill, Göbekli Tepe. These weren't natural formations. They were carved. When excavations began, archaeologists were stunned. Beneath the soil were massive T-shaped stone pillars, arranged in circles, some weighing 10 to 20 tons, and standing as tall as 20 feet. Carbon dating revealed the site was built around 9600 BCE, making it over 11,000 years old. Stonehenge wasn't built for another 6,000 years. The Egyptian pyramids were far in the future. Humans were still hunter-gatherers. Göbekli Tepe wasn't just old, it reset the entire timeline of civilization. The deeper archaeologists dug, the stranger it became. Each pillar was carved with intricate depictions of animals: lions, snakes, vultures, scorpions, wild boars, and foxes. Some symbols appear to represent astronomical alignments, though this remains debated. Others appear as totemic guardians, protecting the sacred circles. But here's the real mystery. How did prehistoric people move stones weighing more than a school bus without wheels, metal tools, or beasts of burden? There were no domesticated horses, no carts, no cranes. Yet the builders cut, transported, and erected these monoliths with flawless precision. And then, even stranger, around 8000 BCE, the entire complex was buried intentionally. Yes, buried. Not covered naturally, buried by humans. Thousands of tons of dirt were deliberately piled over the site, preserving it like a time capsule. Why? A religious ritual? A cultural shift? A collapse of the society itself? No one knows. Göbekli Tepe forces historians to confront one huge question. Did religion create civilization? Or did civilization create religion? Before this discovery, scholars believed large-scale architecture began after farming, but Göbekli Tepe was built before agriculture. This suggests something revolutionary. Hunter-gatherers may have come together to build large, sacred structures, and these gatherings may have triggered the development of farming. In other words, the desire to worship may have created society. And then there's the symbolism. Some pillars depict animals that did not live in the immediate area. Did these represent tribal clans, seasonal migrations, star constellations? One famous carving, known as the Vulture Stone, has been interpreted by some scholars as a symbolic depiction of the night sky around 10,000 BC. Others argue it represents rituals dealing with death, the earliest signs of organized religion. Another pillar, PR18, features a belt, arms, and hands suggesting stylized human forms. These could be, according to some researchers, earliest representations of gods or mythic ancestors. But for every theory, there are more questions. Why are there no signs of permanent housing around the site? Why did the civilization vanish so suddenly? Why bury the site instead of abandoning it? Even today, less than 5% of Göbekli Tepe has been excavated. The rest remains buried under the hills waiting. Now here's where I want your thoughts. Do you think Göbekli Tepe was a religious site, an astronomical observatory, or something we haven't even imagined? Why would an ancient culture go through the effort of burying their greatest achievement? Do you think our timeline of human history needs a complete rewrite? Comment below. I'd love to hear your theory. Göbekli Tepe reminds us of something important. Human history is not a straight line. It's a puzzle with missing pieces. A civilization capable of engineering massive stone complexes existed thousands of years before the first cities. They had beliefs, rituals, and an understanding of construction far beyond what we once imagined. And maybe this ancient site was never meant to reveal its secrecy, as maybe the people who buried it understood that time would eventually rediscover it and question everything. As excavations continue, Göbekli Tepe may still rewrite the story of humanity. But one thing is certain. This civilization unknown, unnamed, and unexplained changed the world long before history began. If you want to explore more mysteries like this, check out The Lost City of Kitalyuk, The Enigma of the Indus Valley Script, The Forgotten Builders of Poverty Point, USA. Because history isn't finished. It's just waiting to be uncovered.